This material has been prepared for informational purposes only and is not intended to provide and should not be relied on for medical or legal advice. You should consult your own medical or legal advisors for specific and personalized advice. Made possible through support from Alliance Colorado, CCDC Colorado Cross Disability Coalition, Developmental Pathways, and the Arc of Aurora. THINK+change Talks. Cannabis and Disability, a series of different perspectives. A medical perspective.
My name is Dr. Joe Cohen. I'm a physician. I was formerly an obstetrician gynecologist, and now I'm a specialist in cannabis medicine. When it comes to the cannabis plant, when we talk about hemp, and we talk about, the only time I use the word marijuana is to differentiate between hemp. You would go to a medical marijuana store or dispensary to pick up that, but you can get hemp in a variety of places. Because hemp is considered legal. So you don't need a medical card or anything to get hemp-based. Unless you're a minor, then you need a medical card because there might be a little bit of THC in there and your parents could get into trouble if you were tested. So any child who's using a full spectrum hemp-based product should basically get a medical card. Hemp is 0.3% or less of THC. Marijuana is above 0.3%. Same plant, that's the difference. So whether you get your CBD or whatever from hemp or from marijuana, it doesn't really matter as long as it's what we call a full spectrum, where it has all the parts of the plant associated with it. That's when it works best. CBD does not get you high. THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, is the part of the plant that causes psychoactivity. As a matter of fact, when you're using THC, CBD actually counteracts that psychoactivity so that you're less high if you're using THC with it. But CBD by itself does generally not cause a high. There's a variety of conditions we see, anywhere from issues that may cause pain and spasm. We see a lot of patients with cerebral palsy as an example. We'll see patients who've had seizures, maybe with birth accidents or something where they also had other issues with mental development and may have seizures along with that. We'll be treating their seizures with that. We see a lot of patients with autism. Autism is an indication that the state of Colorado allows us to give children cards for, as well as seizures and other conditions. So a lot of kids with autism that we see who we found to be tremendously helpful. I think that THC is not for everyone. I think that CBD is for the majority of us. I have to tell you, this is a very significant medicine. When used appropriately, can benefit a lot of people with disabilities, pain issues. There's so many ways we use this plant. And it can also help people get off of other medications which may have more harmful side effects. So I'm quite blown away with what cannabis can do for our patients.
So my name is Martha Montemayor. I'm a certified nutritional consultant. The biggest myth that I would like to dispel right now is there is a myth that CBD is a medicine and THC is just for getting high. And I am here to say THC is a valuable and effective medicine in its own right. 50% of people who try CBD will feel nothing. And then you've got another probably 30%, 40% who are going to feel better. And then you've got 10% who the CBD is going to be too psychoactive for. The idea that CBD is completely non-psychoactive is one of those myths. It's mildly psychoactive, just like coffee and tea are mildly psychoactive. Now, just like coffee though, 6% of coffee drinkers stop drinking coffee because it's way too psychoactive for them. They feel crazy, they get rapid heart rate, their mind is racing, they don't know what to do. Those people should not drink coffee, right? Well, there's people like that with CBD for who it's simply too psychoactive. Terpenes are short chain isomers. They're little tiny chemicals that create fragrance. They're what gives cannabis its distinctive aroma. But when you stick your nose in the jar, you do know something about the aroma of the plant. So that aroma actually is part of the medical effect. Now, an isolate is where you would take that cannabis leaf and you would extract out just say the cannabinoids. So you might extract out THC, you might extract out CBD, you might extract out CBG, you might sit it in the sun and let it cook for a while so that you have CBN. You know, there's lots of different ways to extract them out. The problem is those extracts don't work as well. In the 1970s, they put a synthetic drug called Marinol, which is a synthetic form of THC, out into mainstream medicine. You can get a prescription for it for cancer patients who are suffering from nausea, from pain, and from other things that cannabis helps with during cancer treatments, right? The problem is it's a synthetic, and the synthetic has all of the side effects with not necessarily all the benefits because you're missing some of those other component parts like terpenes and flavonoids and other things. Because the endocannabinoid system is such an integral part of who we are, cannabis helps, as we call it, problems you didn't even know you had, right? So we might give it to a kid with autism spectrum disorder because they have seizures. And then a month later, the mother's calling us, telling us, gee, he's out of diapers now at age 5 for the first time. And all of a sudden he's talking because somehow the endocannabinoid system activated some of those parts. So oftentimes we get results that we didn't expect.
THINK+change Talks.